That really set me up. But when my parents separated, that was a disruption.
Yeah.
That never, in like what I would call my real formative years. I was going into high school when they broke up. And never really got back to dad tutoring me. So everything that he had taught me up until that time and everything that I could see is what I knew. Now he did emphasize college. So my goal was go to college, make my daddy proud,
Yeah.
He went to, well, I know in sixth grade reading level. I know he was in school in the first grade. I was doing my genealogy and looking through some of the census records, and I saw yesterday where he, had first grade. He had been in school, so he did have the opportunity to go to school, and he could read. He could read the newspaper, but he wasn't gonna have it any other way than for me to finish college. So my focus was finish. It was to do college. Okay. Without the understanding that college don't teach you what daddy was teaching you.
Yeah.
When daddy said you pay cash, you borrow nothing, you get to the college and they passing out credit card. I don't remember the name of that store in New Orleans, but I remember that first department store credit card I got and how I didn't pay it. Because you're like, oh, what is that? That's cute. Y'all shouldn't have gave me the money.
For real. But and that's what I was just talking, because I'm in a credit class now, and like I was telling I was telling people, I don't know if you know Kyra on Facebook.
I don't think so.
He's genius when it comes to this credit stuff. But awesome. like I told her, I'm so anti-system. Everything I built, like from properties I own, the land, the property the land I own in Africa, all the businesses, everything I got is off just grind. I never, because I always, we teach ourselves. I don't have my book around, but one of my mentors, Jake Jacobs, he has 3 businesses. 2 of them are 7-figure businesses, right? He's never got a loan. He's never got a credit card. Nothing. He bank off. He's his own bank off infinite banking, banking off your insurance reserve. So he banks with his insurance plan. See, the only thing we know about insurance is if we die, we get something.
Yeah.
So using his strategy, I have learned a different way, but I'm always thinking, I'm always strategizing, because we had a war on multiple fronts, right? So what I'm saying?
Right.
That's still my game plan at heart, but I'm more open now to using credit as more of a secret weapon. I'm not going to use it like 99% of the people in America. Like, I don't want it for my dream home or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Even when it comes to stuff like that, like the FHA loan, like the first time home buyer, I still have never used that, right?
Right.
And what I'm gonna do is get like a 4 unit. You can get up to 4 units with that. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm gonna use, and that's what I try to tell people. Don't go get your dream home. Get something that can get you a dream home. You know what I'm saying? And that's what my mentor.
I'm thinking now. We just gonna dream different. Yeah. We gonna dream about paying for the house. What we talking about a loan for?
That's the
thing. Dream different.
Yeah, and that's the thing that we gotta. Like, I was watching this lady. It was a nice little clip on YouTube or something yesterday. You know how people be in the parking lot just playing pick something and you win the prize type of thing.
Yeah.
That lady, she was just walking and she was on her phone and they was stopping her, telling her, come over here, pick one of these cups, and whatever you pick is yours. She's thinking it's a game. She's thinking it, but she picked it up and it was a wad of money. I knew it would have to be like 1,000 or 2. She started crying, saying she didn't know how she was gonna get her kids any Christmas gifts, this and that.
Right.
And I understand that to a point, but my first reaction is, if you just got blessed with a couple $1,000s that you didn't have, why the first thing you're thinking about doing is go spending it on Christmas gifts? If you're doing that bad that you don't even have money to give them some gifts, let's go invest there. Let's do something different with that, so you can put yourself in a position where you don't have to worry about the next Christmas being bad. You know,
right.
So it's like a mindset thing that I want us people. There's nothing wrong with shining. There's nothing wrong with buying things, but it's times to get it, and it's time to be like, I don't need it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not a shopper. I don't do none of that stuff. and I need to do a little bit more. But I really like you. Every time you see me, you're gonna see me with something that say CEO Youth League, Really Than Real.
Yeah.
One of my Wealth is Gangster, one of my companies.
Okay.
That's all you're gonna see me in. Like, you know, like these pants
I
I
got
got
you.
right now. I shop, you know where I got my pants on right now? For my thrift store. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I get it.
Mentality, like I think about $1 billion plans, right? But I live like I work at a fast food place. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't need what most people need and think is life, I guess. And maybe that's part of me just growing up fast in the streets, and I had a lot of money young. So, but even then, people would tell you they've been calling me a grandpa since I was like 15. Like I never went to clubs. I never did none of it. It just never. Still to this day, I hate cars with loud music. Like I always been like an old man to people.
Like because you could. I think you had that sense to see behind the action, the psyche.
Yeah.
You could tap into the spirit behind it. And, you know, and I think that's exactly what I would call it. There's a psyche, there's a spirit that says big car, loud music. What you doing? What you drowning out?
Yeah.
What you trying to quiet? What you don't want nobody to hear? What you don't want to hear?
Yeah, what you trying to block from yours? It's still to this day.
And it's about self.
In my truck, I don't know last time my radio came on. Like literally,
not even.
I listen to the wind. I like the windows down. I like to hear nature. I like running water. Like I like wind blowing and running water. That's what that's what I like. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It's just like don't get me wrong. I like music at times, but you're never gonna hear me riding around banging nothing.
Sharing it, because that's what I do. I'm they're sharing their music with me. How nice.
Let me just start. Hey, I hit the live button about 8 minutes ago, so I just let us keep continues to talk.
Yeah, no worries. No worries.
We on the Wealth is Gangster podcast, and we streaming it on Instagram too, on the Wealth is Gangster channel. I got Miss Rhonda Brown, you know what I'm saying? A great spirit, great soul, and just every time we haven't known each other long, but it seems like I've been knowing you forever. You know what I'm saying?
That's the way life is.
The spirit and everything. So we could talk forever. But I want to halfway do an interview because I want people to know more about you. You know what I'm saying? That's what you really don't tell about. So
no, we don't.
To the Wealth is Gangster family, and tell us like where you from and how and your upbringing. Let's get that started like that.
Okay, so let's see. I was born in Indianapolis, Indiana, which was called Naptown.
Yeah.
And so I was in Naptown. I was born in Naptown, but I didn't stay long before moving to Milwaukee.
Okay, I got.
And I do. Yeah, Milwaukee gangster. No, but that's a different kind. I mean, it's our reality, and it's a part of who I am, and so I have now at the age of 60, I have a chance to reflect. Who am I? How did this happen? How did I become the way I was? So I've had a lot of time to kind of consider that. But we left Indianapolis, so it would have been about 67. By the time I was maybe 5, something like that. I was born in 62. And the reason we had to leave was because some white guy at my dad's job must have said something he didn't like.
Yeah.
And he shot that joker. I don't know if he's alive or dead. They ain't tell that part.
Yeah.
But he had to leave the city. And so now I'm living in Milwaukee.
That was in the what?
That was in in the 60s. So later on, now I'm in Milwaukee. I'm about 5. And I think maybe by the time I'm 7, they're having the riots after Martin Luther King is killed. And there were big riots in Milwaukee. And now I'm a little kid, and all of this goes into what makes up the person. You might not think so. You think, oh, these kids don't know. The kids know what's going on, and it's impacting them. And I believe it, had an impact on me because I've always been extremely radical. And probably because I could feel what was in the atmosphere, the tension of the 60s, the civil rights movement. I had, things like, being afraid to walk down the street for getting grabbed because that was our reality. That was our history. Right now we make like, oh, our babies can dress any way they want to. Well, I can't let them dress like that because that wasn't my upbringing. Because you asked me about my upbringing.
Yes, ma'am.
So it's a different kind of upbringing, a different kind of experience, a different kind of atmosphere where you, like I said, if you're walking down the street as a young Black girl, you didn't know if you were going to get grabbed, whether you're going to come back or not, or what would happen to you. And so this, like I said, this was in Milwaukee. So I went through ninth grade in Milwaukee. Nice, the cold, and my dad was a business owner. That was interesting because I didn't really think about it. Wait a minute. So now we're in the late 60s, 70s, and my dad's running a Shell gas station. How'd that happen?
Yeah, for sure.
I believe it has something to do with them riots. White folks weren't ready to set up businesses in Black communities at that time. Yeah. So I think that opened the door for my dad, who I'm not sure when we picked up. My dad, who was able to read at the sixth grade level, stayed so heavy and hard on himself because he never finished school, and it was so heavy and hard on me to make sure that I would, that this is what pressed me into who I am, who I became. So he was a business owner. Now, other strange things would happen growing up, like your daddy got a girlfriend. Wait a minute, how that work? Well, it don't work. It didn't work for my mama.
Yeah. So that wasn't.
Yeah. Eventually they split up, and we moved back to Indianapolis. I graduated from Crispus Attucks High School. Now I'll tell you some more history. I'm just trying to. You asked me. You told me.
This was just about you. Normally you asking the questions, and normally you getting now. We want to know who you are now.
Okay, cool. Let me tell you. Anyway, like that girl can talk, Tony. You sure you might not want to have her on that show at all? Anyway,
you're on your stage right now.
Yeah. So, historically, the junior high school I was at housed the parka that Matthew Henson wore when he reached the North Pole.
Okay.
I had an African American history class in junior high. And I believe that just created some of who I am. Because now I'm not like, poor is me. And I think all of those things, which I heard my grandson say the other day, and we have to have these conversations, African booty scratcher.
Yeah.
I'm like, boy, what is you talking about? Let's, we got to have that conversation. What is happening here? But there were so many negative connotations to Africans seen on TV and wherever. But when I took this class, I came to understand the culture. I came to understand how they did what they did and why they did what they did. Okay. So now I have a different air about me.
Yes.
I know I'm somebody in a world that says something different. So right when I was leaving, they was doing the integration. We were starting because all the way from elementary to that junior high, there might have been we had one white family on the block and a mixed family. But at the school, we might have had one white kid. So I grew up with people who looked like me.
Yeah.
I had teachers that looked like me. Not all of them, but some, and my kids here in this area, they didn't experience that. They probably can count on one hand, how many teachers they had that looked like them.
I got two. I know two.
You got two. See, so it's different. So my upbringing. So anyway, so that I remember those historical points that, hey. So anyway, then I moved to we left and we went back to Indianapolis, and I graduated from Crispus Attucks High School. So that was one of the Black high schools. So when high schools were I'm a graduate of Crispus Attucks High School, 1980. And then from there, I went to Dillard University, HBCU, Black college, and that was a wonderful experience. While I was there, involved in Mayor Moriel's campaign, active. And so that followed me, I think, throughout my life. So I finished college, went back to Indianapolis, Had my love child. I was in this place. Hey, VL. Anyway, so have my love child. You know, I was brought up in the church, but in a strange, to me, in a strange kind of way. My mom went to church, but my dad wasn't really about that life.
Yeah.
Maybe if we was doing an Easter play, he would show up for my performance, you know.
Yeah.
That was interesting. But these are things that really, as children, we don't know what are they thinking? How are they moving in and out of this, these things that are happening around them. So anyway, I go back and my Christian upbringing says, hey, straight and narrow, I want to have a baby. Because of we'll go back to finances. Yeah. Hey, I got this college degree. If I make any money, people are wanting money from me. I want something. I want someone to love. I want to be able to take care of someone and not take care of the people who should have been taking care of me. Just my psyche, right? But I have my little love child. And then I figure out that his daddy ain't no interested in no marriage. And his daddy didn't have quite good sense. Well, I had enough sense being raised by my daddy that, baby, you got one time for me to even think you might hurt me.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm going to take you out. Yeah, and then I'm not going to
be doing
that. So me and the baby, we came on down here to Fort Hood with my sister. I've been here since 80, off and on since 83, but by 86, 83, 84. My son was born in 84. So by 85, 86, I was here. And that's how I got to Fort Hood, Killeen area. Been here ever since. Oh, yeah. I love the small town. I love what it used to be. And I still love, what it is. We have some marvelous things happening in our community. I've been a lot of places. I know people from all over everywhere. And when I share what's happening around here, they like, ooh, because we about that life. I don't know how we got to be about it, but we understand our value as Black people, and we're willing to do what we have to do to provide what we need for each other and for the come up. Married my husband in April 1988. And so it's been 34 years.
Yeah, I say you were just telling me before we got on camera.
Yes, 34 years.
Congratulations.
Thank you. We have a blended family. He was married previously, had 2 kids, and then we had 2 together. So mom of 5. We added up all of the grandchildren the other day. That's 19.
Okay.
Yeah, we bought that life. But it's beautiful. It's been a journey. I loved just his history. People don't know, or they might, people don't know what they don't take time to hear or listen to. Sometimes we don't really take a lot of time with one another. But when I got to Killeen, my first job was at the VFW 9191.
Okay.
As a bartender.
Yeah.
Because my reality was when I came out of college with a business degree, graduated with honors, I couldn't find a job. You go to this interview, you interviewed so well, but your test score. Your test score was the highest we ever had, but your interview. That was just excuse to me, just excuses, Yeah. And so I took a bartending class. And I like, meeting people. I like talking to people. You can tell I can talk. Yeah. And so, I started at the VFW 9191, but what makes that so? Met my husband at the VFW 9191.
So it's meant to be, yeah.
Yeah, he was like, "Don't you let nobody flirt with you." We met in January and married in April.
What's up, amazing?
Yeah. Hey. This is my first podcast, so I'll just do what I do. Be who I am. I really can't do much else.
I tell people all the time, content is, how every time we talk, it's content, and that's what people don't understand. Our regular conversations are content.
Yes.
But all those are pieces of content, you know what I'm
saying?
So
Yeah.
You're a super duper content creator. You just don't know it because I didn't talk to you enough that you can have your own YouTube channel and your own thing going
Oh,
on.
watch out now. Watch out now.
That'll be easy for you whenever you're ready for that.
He said when I'm ready. Okay. I got to get my first book out. I'm motivated by your book. I'm like, I got to get my book out. I don't. It'll happen. It will happen. It'll happen.
Speaking of, speaking
but,
of, but
yeah.
this is the
yes.
So I'm about to get ready to order them now. And I just have to go through it. And this is, it's I did it for like the 13, about 25, because I went from hoping to make it to the NFL to a street dude from maybe 11 to 12. So that's that 12, that 11 to 13 is a real vulnerable stage when you're a black male with no father in the house. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I wasn't thinking like this, and my mom and dad got divorced, and like a year and a half later, I was a whole different person. You know what I'm saying?
See,
so I made this an easy read. It's not because the youth I'm trying to touch, you can't give them no big thick book. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They're not gonna read it. So this is a impactful but a quick read. It's nothing that's gonna overwhelm you, but the information you'll grasp onto it. So I just had to throw that in there. But
no.
So you are working on a book, or you're thinking
I just know it's one in me somewhere.
Okay, so you haven't started taking notes on it yet. That's the first step.
Well, yeah, okay.
Grab a tablet and just start writing. Don't even overthink it. That's how I got that book.
That's probably what happened. I'm probably overthinking it. I have had that. I have had that issue. But your book, I know you have a target group, but we talked a little bit about the generation gap. Mm-hmm. Your book, your insights helps with the generation gap. Yeah. It seems like there's a piece that people are missing, and maybe they're missing it because it hasn't been told just in the way that you told it. So I got insight. I learned a lot. I'm like, dang, because you look at people. No, we say this, but we look at people and we think, oh, just because they this old, just because they look like this, that they know more than what they actually know. Mm-hmm. We don't. Yeah. And as long as we are open to understanding that we learn from one another.
Yes. And that's the key part, because
it is.
The system don't want us to be, because the elders, even though we have more of the technology, what's going on, we have that knowledge now, but it's still so much wisdom that the elders can give us that if we combine them, that's powerful. And that's why systematically it was separated and broke up, because they don't want that. You know what I'm saying? And and I have, and sometimes it can't be that. And that's why I'm so drawn to you, because I don't meet so many older black women or men, mm-hmm. even though I respect and even if we have different points of views or visions, I'm gonna still respect you. But it's a lot of them that I don't want to talk to every day. You know what I'm saying? Right, and not a disrespectful thing. It's just about that the way you think is the reason we get fed to the slaughterhouse now. Mm-hmm. So I always come with respect, and that's what I be trying to gap. Like, don't say the youngsters are just too crazy. Then youngsters don't say they old and don't know. We got to figure out, because I don't want to be with every youngster anyway. Because you know what I'm saying? Because they'll throw y'all. So it's a balance about, okay, we all need to work. We all need understanding. But no one's. I was just talking to my partner at my cousin's wedding that married him.
Yes, that was beautiful.
Yeah. I was talking to him because I post a lot of stuff, and sometimes people think that I'm against religion or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And my first thing is I always tell people, whatever makes you a better person, I'm for it. I know people that don't believe, and great people. I know people that's in church every day and great people. And I know bad people on both sides too. So I don't get caught up in whatever you personally, whatever makes you a better person. If we can figure out, okay, you're a believer, you're not a believer, or whatever. What are you trying to do for the community? Where's your heart at? You know what I'm saying? That's all I care about, because I'm not nobody should be judging you or what you think. Because I grew up in a church every day, and my mom right now, we still go back and forth right now, because my mom is deep. My mom is deep in the church. Yeah. And we came to a point where it's just respectful. Like, it's not that I'm not a non-believer, I'm just more spiritual, but it's hard for me to be full-time in the church when I learn about slavery and my people. It to me, it don't hit the same. You know what I'm saying? That's what we
no, I do.
And a lot of us will just say, forget you if you don't think like this, and that we got to stop there too. We got to understand that I got room to believe and feel how I feel, and you do too. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Like, so that's the balance of the understanding that we need with each other. So that's what I'll be trying to do, because I go through it with my own family. Like, you know, like they get mad at me if I talk about the white Jesus on the wall and everything. And you know what I'm saying? and where I'm from, boy, that's blasphemy. You know
okay, you're gonna get in trouble. It is, you know, and just with, you know, the growth and being able to respect. Hey, because I had to. I was deep there. Okay, I was deep in the church, and what I realized was, wait a minute, ain't no deep people with me.
Yeah,
I was able to be deep in the church, and then I wanted to do what I needed to do in the community as well. Yeah. Then of course I wanted some fellowship and while I'm doing it, you know, but I just recognize that I'm who I am, and the best thing I could do for myself is to be true to myself.
That's it.
And I'm in a sweet spot right now.
Yeah, well, I tell people, I'm
in a sweet spot. You know, I'm gonna handle what I need to at that acre.
Yes.
Because that's who I am and what I am and how I express how I got to be who I am.
Yes.
Young people, I was once young. I'm still connected to young people. I'm going to be connected to young people. And I understand, just like in your book, this ain't making sense, but what does make sense? And how do we get that to them? Okay.
Yeah,
and the only way we're going to get to young people is we got to spend some time with them.
Yeah.
And how do we spend time for them? We have to provide opportunities for that.
That's the main thing. That's why no matter what we talk about, when we have to talk about rap, we talk about this, it's about opportunities.
Opportunities. I love it.
When I went to the streets, it's not because I want to be a street dude. I went to the streets because logically, I'm the oldest of four. My mom is at work, and this guy right here just told me I can make $100 doing this. So it sometimes it's that simple. Sometimes we'll look at kids and be like, they're bad, they this and that. No, their surroundings got them thinking logically, even though it sounds crazy to you, to them, this is logic. This logically makes sense to them. Yeah. So if we change the surroundings, and that's not even a choice. Like when a guy told me, man, here go this, go make you some money. But what I do with kids now, I say, here goes some knowledge. Let me show you how to build a house. Let me show you how stocks, bonds. So if he would have told me about that, ain't no telling where I'd have been. You know what I'm saying?
True.
So that's why I do what I do now, because I'm like, man, if he'd have told me about stocks at 11 instead of giving me that, where I would have went to? Ain't no telling. I would have been, you know what I'm saying, on Wall Street at 20 or something. You know what I'm saying?
No, I get it. And so I think you touched on the excitement of why I can be so passing over opportunity. Why I could be so excited that I've met you. And then, you know, I saw a post and her CEO, I'm like, oh, I'm going to meet him one day. But it's the opportunities. Yes. It's the opportunities that we provide. That's what I recognized that was missing.
Yeah. That's exactly why I started CEO Youth League, for opportunities.
Yes. Yeah.
We got all our kids playing sports, right?
Mm-hmm.
And about 18 years old, 99.9% of them realize I'm never going to see $1 in professional sports.
Right.
That's when most of them go to the streets. That's when most of them get depressed. Wow. That's when most of them at a job that they hate. That's when most of them go to drinking. That's when most of them do all that stuff at that age.
Wow.
So, but if you've been thinking all your life you're going to make it in sports, but you've been part of something like the CEO Youth League, you already got a business. You already got this. So even if you don't make it, you're not thinking life over. You know that life just begun.
Right.
I teach my youth, don't worry about playing the game. Let's worry about owning the team, and then
that's
you
what I was
players. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. So, creating the team, being the team. The opportunities are here because, you know, we have a ready market.
Yes.
You know, we are spenders.
Professional spenders.
Okay, we got the degrees. Yeah. We got lots of degrees. We got black belts and all kinds of stuff in spending. Yeah, and so that's another thing. Buy black.
Yeah,
that was a part of my upbringing.
Yeah, I know. When I seen you like sharing that stuff, I'm like, hold on, I'm on the only one around Central Texas that be posting products from this and that. I'm like, hold on, and you got products I haven't even bought before. I'm like, hold
Good.
on, now you know what I'm saying?
My soul box came in today.
I was posting the toothpaste, I was posting the toothbrushes,
Yeah, I seen it.
The laundry detergent, all that
Yes.
different stuff. So when I seen you, I'm like, hold on, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, I seen it.
Right
I seen it. I mean, I seen it when you posted it way back.
Yeah.
So it's not. We just had never met.
Yeah.
That was it. So I knew you was there. Okay, I knew where you were, and then I knew, like I said, with Dory, our connection. I think, as you said, respecting who we are and how we choose to show up.
That's it.
And I a long time ago, I chose to show up as Rhonda K.
Yeah.
And that's a bit much for some people, and it's okay.
I believe you. I know. I'm a bit much for people. You know what I'm saying? But we gotta be good. Like what I do is
amazingly beautiful. Thank you. Love your spirit.
Yeah,
love your spirit.
What I do is like if I say something that gets somebody upset, I say, okay, if I'm speaking facts and you get upset, that's something you got to deal with. But if I'm lying, tell me where I'm lying at.
Yes,
correct that. But I can't correct a fact that you just that just messes with you. I can't live like that. I got to be able to sleep at night. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So standing on truths and when you realize, like you said, well, like I say, when I start learning the history of what our people been through, like how can I be afraid to stand up for truth when my people was hung, raped, beat, slaughtered, drugged, like babies fed to alligators? Like I wouldn't even be able to sleep knowing that living alive now. You know what I'm saying?
Right. No, you're right.
I gotta do that for the ancestors and people.
Yes.
And this makes some people uncomfortable, and I don't know why. Because like most of us we get our speeches or something, we get an award, and we'll say thank God. Nothing wrong with that. I have a guy. I think we cool now, but he stopped talking to me for a while. I guess I was looking like a demon spirit or something. Like I told him, "There's nothing against. I believe in a higher power. There's nothing against that. But if I ever give anybody thanks, it's gonna be to the ancestors." He didn't like that, and I'm like, I can't prove who died for me, but I can prove my ancestors died for me. I can prove that they was beat. I can prove that they was hungry. I can prove that they was murdered. I can prove that they was slaughtered. I can prove that babies was just took out of households, and I can prove that. So for me, it's disrespectful for me to thank anybody before them. Even if you believe in a higher power, this is the way I see it. And it could be wrong, but it's right for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then after that, I'm thankful for all this and that and everything after that. But for me to be able to sleep, I gotta say thanks to the ancestors first. That's just how I rock. And I don't know why that will make somebody uncomfortable, but that's just my truth. Why it's a problem with me living my truth. That's like you saying thank God, and then I question you and call you whatever for saying that. That's not my place to tell you who to thank. You know what I'm saying?
Right. No, and you just, I guess, the freedom to allow people to be where they are, but the freedom for you to stand in who you are. Like I said, I'll fight for that. I'll fight for that for any kid. When I said my oldest went off to school, and the teacher say this and that, I'm like, you're not gonna stop him from being who he is now. That's him. He a fun-loving kid. Now deal with it. He's not gonna sit still, and then that's not him. It's not him. So what you do is you learn how to enjoy who he is and teach him. That's what that's your job, right?
Yeah, they're not gonna do that. They're gonna send them to the office and tell them they need really.
But then if they got to deal with this mama, they probably just gonna have to deal with him. But he wasn't. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm not sending you a bad child, but I'm sending you a fun-loving, light-hearted kid. And I don't know how any other kid is, but this one right here. You're not gonna send him back home pouting and sad, and no, he get to be a kid. He will get to be a kid. And they were all just kind of different, but what you were saying, the ancestors, I think for me, so we just get to talk about me today, right? There was a long time that I carried enslavement of the Africans in America as shame. But then, and people can say what they want with whatever they want. I have people that probably, look at me side eye because I will listen to whoever is saying, whatever, if they down for the cause of Black people. I understand us as a collective. So with ADOS, in listening to ADOS, I came to embrace the strength that it took. I think it was when we were reading They Were Her Property. Like, we never thought about the white women who they were trained to enslave, and the horrible, terrible things that they did, right? And then when I think about the people that survived that so that I could be here, then now I understand ancestors.
Yes.
Before, you didn't. What's an ancestor? It's not even in our terminology.
Yeah,
but you can draw strength from that. But not if there's only one narrative.
Yeah.
And the narrative was, I can't even imagine, because I'm still thinking I'm that one. Yeah. I'm that one that would have jumped off the ship. And if I didn't jump off the ship and I made it here, I'm going out, but I'm taking some out with me. Yeah. I'm just saying, Nat Turner, Harriet Tubman. Those are the ones I connect with most.
No, for sure.
I need to free my people. I can't be comfortable if we're all not comfortable.
And that's the difference, because I'm around some people, and like I said, I got mentors, and I got partners that's millionaires that think like this, and we're people first. And then I have people that's seeing money, doing good, and I'm too Black for them, because being too Black mess up money, especially when most of your money come from them folks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I can't talk the way I talk and live the way I live if my everything depend on them. And it too, in some ways it does. Like my thrift store stays open from white and Mexican people. That's just the real of it. Mm-hmm. But I'm not gonna tiptoe around and act like this didn't happen to my people because of that. If you stop shopping with me, you just do. But see, some of us not gonna do that because that'll mess up the money. So I can't talk like that. Oh man, I ain't. You know what I'm saying? Like but it's the same way I do now. When people, if I'm too Black for you, thank you for letting me know, because it ain't about all of us coming together. It's about the right ones coming together. Because I tell people, if we all come together, we're gonna get infiltrated, because that's what the government does. That's how the Black Panthers got infiltrated. That's how all our movements got infiltrated.
Right.
And we wanted everybody to come together, and we got infiltrated. And no, I don't want everybody to come together. I want everybody to do good and take care of their family, but I don't need to come with everybody. I need the right ones. And not saying that you're a bad person, you're just not right for me. You know what I'm saying? Because I stand on what I stand, and I believe on what I believe. And if that's too much for you, I don't need to be around you, because it's sort of like the streets, right? Mm-hmm. When I was in the streets, I thought I was weird because I was always by myself. I didn't want to be around people and everything. I didn't hang out, but I learned that, this is what protects me. Yeah. Because if I wanted to do all that, I would have put myself in danger so many times. So it's the same with this movement, with this liberation, with this trying to build. If I put myself just to make myself available for everybody, I feel like I'm putting myself in danger again. The same way I would have in the streets. If people don't look at it like that, oh man, you talking this, you talking that. Yeah. But being for my people, I always tell people, being for my people, I understand my people are going to be the first ones that hate, talk down, try to destroy, or don't support. That's just the real of it. It ain't about complaining about it. It's just baked in. That's just what it is.
It's baked in.
It's just baked in.
It's baked in.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's what we got to understand. We don't understand that, oh man, it ain't about, oh man, forget this, I ain't fighting for Black. No, we got a lot of about society is messed up, and that's not going to deter me from what I'm trying to do for my people.
Right,
you know I just know how to navigate, move, and stay away from those people. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's what it's about. But we on you again because you know how me and you talk. You know what I'm saying? I told you to keep this kind of an interview. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
How did you? Because I you see what I got at teaching the community. Let's talk about before you was before you was just like teaching outside of school. When you was in the schoolhouse, because we talked about this a lot of this thing. How many years did you teach in school?
I was in education for 24 years.
24 years.
24 years. So 19 in KISD.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm being nice, so maybe I won't. But anyway, I have some feelings about that. I have some feelings about that.
Yes.
I won't do it. No, I will. Because I just have to be real. Yes. This is the place. I'm with
you
real John.
And you a
I got to be Rhonda, the real Rhonda.
Yeah, you a Wealthy's gangster. You know.
I'm Wealthy's gangster. I got a pass. I got my OPP.
You good.
You from Joy Husband, if you're out there. So anyway, one of the students at Shoemaker gave me an OPP. That's the old people pass. That means I can say what I want and I can wear what I want. Yes. I'm telling you, I've been doing me my whole life and I love it. Yes, and it can be alienating at times, but I don't care because I got to wake up with me. And like you said, I got to sleep at night. So I ain't mistreating nobody.
You know what I'm saying? For real.
You ain't catch me mistreating nobody.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I do. I would say I did 19 years in KISD, and the way I view them now is KISTD.
Oh my God.
School transmitted disease disorder.
Yo,
I have a difficult time.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Operating in the school system now.
Yes.
I had a difficult time when I was in there because my heart was for that kid, those kids. And it was that kid and those kids that were targeted and mistreated. And it's like, you know what? I'll let y'all punk me and so I can be here for them. Yeah. But the moment you say something or do something to one of them, I'm going to be the first one to speak up. At the same time, I'm the first one to say to the kid, come here. I bet you didn't know. But let me tell you, this is and you know, to just be real. Hey, this is the place where if you don't understand how society works, when you get out there, it's not going to work like that. You got to love your little black self. Now, you know, that wasn't going to work.
Nah, you're in the wrong place to be talking like that.
But I did it for 19 years and loved every minute of it because that's what I was there for. Yeah. That's what I went in there for, you know, with a mission, you know, to say, hey, I started in middle school, and it's like if you could catch them in middle school, get them to love their little black selves. Yeah. I ain't mistreat nobody. White kids good. They good. Yeah, but they not black kids. They don't share my history. Yes. They don't have the same attack that my babies had on them. They don't have even the struggle that I had when I was going through school. You know what I mean? If I'm in a school and you got, you know, no, I seen it even as a teacher. I was at one. We're in a professional development, right? Not very many black teachers, period, right? I raised my hand and all of a sudden my hand is invisible, but you can see the white girl hand to the side. Yeah. I'm that one that go, hey, what was that you just did? Yeah. That ain't how that worked. And of course I was uncomfortable getting called out on your stuff, but that's what happens to little black kids all the time. Their hand is up and they can't be called on because you got to call on this person. I'm going through teacher training, right? Oh my gosh. And there's this one lady there and they have to know this lady is just kind of slow. Yeah. Ditzy and dumb. Yeah. But anyway, she want to be a teacher. So of course she can be a teacher. She got the skin for the win. But this is what it looks like. So thank you for this platform. But this is what it looks like for little black kids in school. If you're in school with white children, the white girl gives an answer. Her answer is made to be right. Your black child gives an answer and their answer is minimalized, degraded, ignored, if called on at all. And that happens day after day after day. And you wonder, what happened to that bright, brilliant young lady that I left that leaves out my house every morning? They're going into a school system that will not address the inherent biases that they have from our society. Yes. And when they get home, if you're not pumping them up and sitting them down with a book and some writing paper and some math, they're going to struggle all day, every day. They got to be made confident at the house. Yes. Because they can be crushed at the schoolhouse. Yeah. If not. Mm-hmm. Sorry, honey, am I loud? Sorry.
So we get the little crunk. Yeah,
I'm sorry, honey. I was like, yeah. Anyway.
But
Anyway, you're so funny. We so old. I'm like, honey, I'm gonna be on the podcast. Neither one of us know what a podcast is. I don't know, but I'm gonna be on it. I get to talk.
Hey, no, but what you said is so true. That's why, like I say, complaining about it. That's why we're in process of starting a homeschool. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Even though with some homeschool people that's gonna just take on the curriculum and we have it where we're looking at for brick and mortars now, where it can be an after school program, it can be on the weekend, and then we're gonna have online courses and stuff too.
Awesome.
So, because I know public school is basically a spot. It's a daycare. So parents need a public school because they need to work. It goes back. It always goes back to finances. I tell people all the time, no matter what you see the problem is, somewhere it might not be on a server, but up under there somewhere, it goes back to finances, right?
Yeah, right.
So parents need the kids to be there. The teachers in the school district need the bus to be in the seat so they can get a check. You know what I'm saying, from the government. So it's gonna always be some that come out and shine, and that's cool. But they don't never come out and shine to dominate or to build something. It's always they're teaching you to get a job.
Yeah.
And we tell people to go to college, but we never tell people more than half the people that go to college and get master's degrees need a job right now. They just got the paper, but they can't find a job. You feel me?
They can't get the promotion.
Yeah, they can't, what I'm saying? Because it's not made for them. You know what I'm saying? That's why we need to build institutions and we need to have organizations. So when our kids do come from these schools or our schools, our academies, we got corporate jobs to give them, or we got opportunities to give them. You know what I'm saying? Just like other kids do.
Yeah, no, that's what happened. That's what went missing. Like I said, my dad had a business, so I should have walked into that business, but the disruption within the family.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? That created, I could see him thinking, Rhonda gonna take over this business. But that didn't happen. How many opportunities was it like that? And it was where, if you work in the factories, you brought your children along to work in the factories, then the factory shut down. So when you say economically, financially, that's what has happened. And then I'm sure some study or some book or something, and I think how to get Black people to purchase from you or something. But we're just, I don't know. We're what keeps this wheel going. The prosperity is just running the wealth through us, but not to us.
Yeah.
I think you mentioned, what I notice is the more as you're successful in public education, then you have to have assimilated. So you mentioned that your school's a daycare. It was only a daycare, but it is actually socialization. They are teaching you where you belong.
Yeah. And
dare you not to know where your space is. Because we're going to let you know where your space is.
That's facts.
Okay. I went to Shoemaker High School with my principal certification, everything in place. That district, messed how to sell a Negro. Okay. That they messed me around so bad. They had little white girls that was in the same position I was in. They hadn't even earned their degrees or principal certifications. And they moved up a lot quicker than I did,
It's set up for them.
It's exactly.
It matter about all that. Really, to us, we think it matters, but it doesn't matter about all that.
It's how well you can, and I couldn't. I'm telling you, you heard my background. I couldn't.
Yeah.
I can't do that. It's little tests they have out there for you. It's like I remember my first year of teaching at Smith Middle School. And a white teacher walked past a table of Black boys, and he said something about, I just know he didn't say monkeys, but he said something derogatory. And I said, oh, you mean them, those geniuses over there? Mm-hmm. See, that was a test. Is she one of us or is she not? I'm not.
Yeah. Nah, for real.
I'm not. And I got real excited. We were going to get a Black principal. Well, I didn't understand education. I was business major and I wasn't necessarily education. I moved over to education. Absolutely love being in schools with the kids and teaching. But I was excited. We got a Black principal. And this is the point where I learned that black ain't all black. Not for real black.
No.
I said, ooh, we need to have an African American history class. Wrote up everything. Here's the book. Here's the curriculum you need. And she had to take it forward to the district. Baby couldn't take that forward to the district. She wasn't going to keep her job.
Yeah.
She wasn't going to stay a principal. So we couldn't have the African American history class. Yeah. But we had an African American Culture Awareness Club, ACAC. Anyway.
Okay. Hey, say we got.
Oh, that's who. But I didn't know then. That's who we are as a people. We find a way. We make a way. And yes, one of my sisters said we got the skin for the win. Yeah. Unstoppable. So yeah, there you go. And so that's what we had to do. That's what we have to do. And we have to do it. The other thing, I don't know how long we're going to talk, but the other thing was when you were saying, this is what I'm built for. This is what I'm here for. That's what you're there for, right? I understand that this war must be fought on many fronts.
Many fronts. That's what I try to tell people. It's not no one fix all.
It's not. And so that person, that principal, I know that principal helped some along the way. May not have been helpful for me, but there was some because somebody was able to look and see her in a principal position. Okay. And it was so cute. So I had to leave KISD. I was at Shoemaker for 9 years and not promotable. While I was at Shoemaker for 9 years, I might have seen in 9 years, it was a couple, I might have seen 5 fights on that campus. Why? There was a standard. There was somebody there who could relate to kids and get them to understand that's not what we do here.
That's the key. That's the key. Somebody to relate. You said the right word. Somebody.
Yeah. But I couldn't be promoted. So I left and I finally I said, hey, they was getting ready to get that lawsuit though after this 9 years because I'm applying, right? And they moved up a coach that came over to our campus. Somehow he got hired without the process ever even being open. Now he an assistant principal. I'm like, you know what? I can take a lot.
Just walked into it, huh?
But this right here, this gonna be a problem.
Yeah.
So at that point, I put in applications in other districts and one more in our district. And I was interviewed down in, I think it was Pflugerville or somewhere that way. And so that was cool. I'm thinking I wouldn't even get an interview. That was at an elementary campus. And then I got an interview in Cove and was actually offered the job in Cove. So I was an assistant principal in Cove. So we have a young brother that comes in and he gifted. He identified as gifted, right? Mm-hmm. And his mama was telling him that I'm the principal, right? That's how smart our babies are. He like, she ain't the principal. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So the battle that I had even there is I got a young brother I need to sew into to make sure he's safe. And they came for him. Yeah. When I had to be the one to back off. No, what did you do first? You don't do that with teachers. What did you say to him before he did that? Yeah. You just accused him of throwing a pencil at you. To me, there's a problem with the relationship here. Mm-hmm. And you're the adult. What the problem is. Now, of course, I was supposed to immediately
get on him. Yeah.
What you said. He should have been out the school. Anyway, just But the psyche between the kids didn't really know how to deal with that. But this gifted kid, he was like, she not the principal. And so now I gotta win favor with him, like but I'm here, baby. Yeah. And so the socialization in the schools is real. Those that rise to the top. I was talking to a young brother the other day. He's friends with just small world. Tony Ringgold. I think he met with her the other day. Yeah. That's my heart to hear her story, y'all. Yeah, we got the skin for the win and the voice and everything, the beauty, all of it. So I was down there at the pop-up shop and I met a young man and he had a shoemaker jacket. I'm like, maker for life. And he was like, really? Is that serious? I'm like, boy, don't you know? Shoemaker so real, I almost cried at a pep rally. Talk about some unity.
Yeah.
Shoemaker. You know, we tease. We ain't worried about the kids. The kids are so together they could actually come up with a plan and a plot and make it happen before we ever even do anything about it. They were together. Okay, it didn't matter. But anyway, so this young man is talking to me, and I mentioned the school that I was principal at, and he said, "Oh, that's do you know?" I don't know if I should say the boy name, but do you know Q? We'll just say Q because it's a lot of Q's. You know Q? And I'm like, yeah, that's my baby. I was there when you was there.
Yeah.
And man, and again, a brilliant black brother. I love being able to tell this story. I like talking too, though. But anyway, the principals, the main principal, I was the first black principal, assistant principal at this campus. They won't recognize that. It was one before, but he was over at the junior high, at the Coppers Cove Junior High. So you got two sides of town. You got a campus that's for the up and come, you know, the people with a little money, and then you got the other one. And so I made it to this campus, and I figured when they hired me, they was required to hire somebody with the skin for the win.
Yeah.
For them, they didn't just roll up and go, "Oh yeah, she's."
Yeah, they didn't do it out the goodness of their heart.
I don't think so. So they had to contend with who they hired, but they really had an attack on this boy. But this boy came from an intact family, and he was smart, okay, and he was a ball player. And I grew up watching the Milwaukee Bucks, okay, so I know ball players. I was Kareem Abdul. I know them, okay, all of them.
I got you.
Yes, I'm like, they could not. They really didn't like this young man. But I was telling him the mom, he had gotten into something, and your teachers were always complaining about something. The boy not doing anything but being a boy and smart. And so anyway, there was a conference. But I remember his mama looking at his daddy because they both was at the conference. And I say his mama was looking at his daddy like Michelle Obama looks at Barack Obama. That was so beautiful. I was like sitting in that meeting like, oh man, this is good. That black man advocating for his son, and that wife looking at him like, yeah, baby, that's it. It was so beautiful. And you know, I tried to relay that to her. And sometimes, you know, our black love is hard to express. Like, my mom, man, that was beautiful. You have a beautiful, you know, family. It came to a situation that, man, he just did something stupid. I wouldn't if I was the principal. Yeah. But we don't even have, you know, we will get to a place where we have enough unity to say, no, this is who we want for principal. And they will be black enough.
Or we can just open up our own schools.
That too.
All because I feel like
all fronts. No, I'm with you. I'm absolutely with you.
But I'm like I say, I'm always open. But I just and I'm not gonna hold you too much longer, because I know we're gonna have to. Like I always tell people, these are not basically an interview. This is an ongoing conversation, right? You know what I'm saying? I just want to start making sure we document it, because these type of talks need to be given to our people. You know what I'm saying? Like the conversations we didn't had a few powerful conversations that I believe our people needed to hear those conversations. You know what I'm saying? So this is gonna definitely be a continuation. But as far as, and like I say, I always ask you, I be wanting to know your insight, because I'm curious to know about the generation. Because like you say, I'm always trying to figure. I'm not like I know it all, don't nobody. You know what I'm saying? I want to learn too. I'm open to learn. And if it's somebody younger to give me game, I want it.
I want it.
I give me the, you know, or even if it ain't game, let me hear your insight, because I realize that me and you can look at the same thing, right? And see two different things, because your life experience is different than mine.
Right.
So, and that's when I start looking at stuff like that, I stop like not demonizing, but feeling like, oh, they dumb because they not thinking like me or something. Because I start realizing that now instead of you not thinking like me and I feel like whatever to you, I'm curious on why you think like that. Now I'm more
there you go.
What life experience got you seeing that different than mine? You know what I'm saying? And
I do.
that understanding cuts out a lot of the fighting and the, you know what I'm saying? It's just about understanding. I don't need to agree with you. I just need to understand or try to understand why you think like that. What did you experience that I haven't experienced that make you see this same thing that I'm looking at different?
Right.
So, and I think that's more respectful, and that opens it up to everybody learn from each other instead of just shutting off. But I said all that to say, same thing as when I say schools. I don't know, because it's a system. We might can fix one school and make it better, but it's still the overall system, right? And so this is the problem I have when people like, I have some partners that I do business with. But they're more of, man, I need to get inside the NAACP and try to change it.
Oh,
I respect that. I'm the type of person we need to build our own and don't even worry about trying to get in there and change it, because I understand one thing I understand is about power, and that organization gets so much funding from the system that they could never really truly move the way I'm talking about moving. And I could be wrong. I'm open to hearing. I just haven't seen it in all my years. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, and a lot of people, like, even when I say something about the church and this and that, but my thing is, the reason I do that, because I come from the streets, right? So I come from the group that's easy to, y'all need to do this. Y'all need to pick up y'all pants. Y'all need to do this. Y'all need to do that. From the people that should have put me in a better situation that I wouldn't do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and that's a generational gap right there. You telling me what I should do, why you haven't picked up this community? Why you haven't put me in a better position where I wouldn't even be thinking the way that you hate that I think? You know what I'm saying? And so that breaks it down. But I'm a firm believer of, we need to build our own outside of those institutions to really get real change. That's why I love when you said radical earlier, because I was listening to Dr. Claude about about 5-6 years ago. And he was like, to really free your people as a Black person, you have to be radical.
Yeah.
You cannot be normal, because a normal thinking Black person would not change anything. You're going to follow the status quo. So if somebody's not calling you radical, that means you're not doing enough for your people.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because when you radical, that means, you really fighting for them Black folks. You really doing you just somebody, Black Lives Matter, but let me just stay in the system. That mean you ain't radical. You just pretending. You know what I'm saying? Right. So how do you feel about that? Like, I don't know what's your thoughts on like the NAACP or anything like that, but when you hear somebody, a younger person in the younger generation say that about organizations that's been around here, what does that do to you? Like, how do you
I've heard it, I've seen it. That's their belief. Yeah. And if they believe that they can go in there and make a change or some difference, then they will. They will. But without them, it won't happen. It'll just be lockstep. So sometimes if you feel like you that one, you'll go in and move the needle a little, you can move the needle a little bit.
If you don't get kicked out, because some of them try to get too buck in there and they get kicked out.
Right. So but if you are the one, that institution carries some weight.
Yeah.
Remember I said I spent 9 years as shoemaker, fully qualified, and should have been able to move right into, because that's what I wanted. Yeah. I wanted to become a principal, because I saw the impact that the top principal has on a campus.
Yeah.
So then I desired that. Why? Because I would have a greater impact on more children, right? So let me get my thought back. So the NAACP, the Grand Lodge of somebody, willed a little bit. They go sit down with the superintendent. Guess what? If Rhonda knew how to act, paid her dues.
But see, that's the problem.
Rhonda could have moved up.
No, that's the problem though. It should have just
been done. That is a problem. But
been done.
If somebody infiltrates the organization, then they have a voice inside of it that could influence change. They're not going to change the whole game.
Yeah.
So that's why I said on many fronts, we do have to build our own. It was Al Sharpton or somebody, they was going to Washington, D.C., march for jobs, justice and education. I'm going, where I end up, what we doing? How we doing this down here? What we gonna do? They weren't gonna do nothing. I think a few of them got on the bus maybe and went up there. We had our own jobs, justice, and education. Yeah. They didn't like that too much because people like, okay, we got somebody down here trying to do something, and she ain't get no support from. I don't need no support. Jobs, justice, and education is nationwide. That means we need to be represented here too.
Yeah.
So you have those personalities that strike out on their own. You know what I mean? And it may not be for everybody, and it may only be for as long as it lasts.
Yeah. You can't.
But you do what you do. Now, when I came out of education, I said, whew, I'm tired of fighting this monster from the inside. I knew that I had to come out and fight from the outside. Therefore, you have Youth Backyard Garden Initiative.
Yeah, that's how I was going to finish on. I want you to talk about
that.
That was a great segment. So after you got out of there, let's talk about the organization and what you're doing, the mission and the vision for that.
Okay, so the Youth Backyard Garden Initiative is the culmination of Central Texas Think Tank. Central Texas Think Tank for several years. We just met every Saturday, discuss what was happening in the community, what was needed in the community, and what we could do to make it happen. So that was happening. And then as people were doing different things, they kind of stopped meeting for different reasons, like, well, you're meeting in the church. Well, now you're not meeting in the church, you're meeting downtown. Or they meet with the Muslims over there, just whatever. I can't speak on it because our lack of maturity as a people, we can't pick up the phone and say, hey, this is what's going on. And I'm going to say I've had some who reached that, one or two that said, hey, well, this is, I ain't going to be able to, I can't come down there because, and I went over there and it was, they just proselytizing and whatever. And so some of that, but people just kind of fell away. And I said, we can't have a think tank with just 3 to 4 people. So what are we going to do? How can we, what will we, from all of the things that we have, this grand vision, what can we do with the people that we have? And so we came up with Youth Backyard Garden Initiative. I had always wanted a garden for all the years that I've been here, right? Not really understanding a lot about it, but I've always wanted one. And we thought together, it wasn't just me, hey, what if we could teach young people how to grow backyard gardens? Okay, so we train the young people, they go back to their communities, and if a person in the community or a family in the community wants to start a garden, they know how to start a garden. Now, what are the benefits? The benefits are now our kids have a way to make money, that opportunity that they need. Where you say, here's $100, where you can go find you some gardens, you can make several $100s, but now you have the skill, you're giving back to your community. Your community no longer is believing the narrative of what you all are. You all them kids, the kids today, not little whoever that's knocking on my door and going to help me with my garden. You get to know one another, be a part of the community. You see what I'm saying? And so that was the design for the Youth Backyard Garden, to get them in the community, to get the people who know how to garden, which are a special group of people. They're just wonderful. But to get gardeners around young people. And then at the same time, Youth Backyard Garden would provide them the opportunity to run the organization, the institution. It was designed to be an institution. Yes. Long after I'm gone. Yes. This is to remain. Why does it remain? Because it is our collective. It is when we come together that we look eye to eye and feel heart to heart, that connection that makes us one. Okay? That's what happens at the acre. And so the acre builds community. So the mission, train youth, give them the opportunity, give them a skill, give them all of the benefits that gardening provides. If they come to the acre and they're part of the process, then they could be the spokesperson for, they can be the advertiser. You see what I'm saying? They can use whatever skills they have to build this organization into what they need it to be for them. You see what I'm saying? So it's not ours, it's a handoff. It's like, here, this is y'all got to keep it going and understand why it's important. And then the other component is to build community. And so I'm just too excited for the things, just, when I talk, I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
Community groups coming together. Dr. Jennings and Boys Matter to Men. They showed up and they built picnic tables with another young brother who I wish I can't hit the name of the woodworking, but he came and they came and together they built picnic tables.
Yes.
Do you see the skill set? Do you see the community that is built there? That those young men can hold their heads up high. They can't say, they look at me like I ain't nothing. No, we look at you and we know you something. You built that table, baby.
No, for real.
And so being able to provide opportunities like that, and then we did a kids read. Oh, that was a beautiful day. Right out there at the acre. You just need a little space.
Yeah.
Those are the opportunities that we want to build, because we need our babies to read. We need them to know that we write. We need them to eat well. We just need to be together. I think that's part of the problem. Somehow we were siloed into our homes. I think I might have mentioned this in one of our other talks. I got my Cadillac, I got my house, and I got my TV. Y'all not good? I'm good. But that's, that's not good. Because you watching the
individualized. Everybody just so individualized.
That's what happened. And so with growing community, I have never had anybody come to the acre and say, "Oh, I can't stand it here. It's horrible." They get that fresh air.
The vibe, it's the vibe.
They get that fresh air and that good old conversation.
Yeah.
Like they've been knowing you forever, like they've been knowing each other forever. It's so beautiful.
Yes.
It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. So You Backyard Garden Initiative is what it is and will become what it's supposed to be. It is an institution. Because we built institutions. I told you that. Yeah. We built colleges. We built institutions. We done fell off, and we got to make up some ground.
Yeah. So what's the vision for it? Like so you meet every Saturday, you say, right? Or
weather permitting. I think it's going to be a little, but in the winter months, not, we may miss some.
Yeah.
So it's from 10 o'clock to 12 o'clock, and so the community is invited. Come. It's always some work.
Okay.
Because we building.
Yeah.
We're making something that our community needs and deserves. So we should have the best of everything.
Well, I'm definitely gonna throw my hat in and start pouring into. I do a little stuff out my backyard or this and that. We got some greens. If I need to get out here before these insects eat them all, the guy told me, he said you put some ashes over them and they won't eat them or something. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how to do it where it's like I don't want to be spraying nothing on it. That's
right. And so some I'm like, you have to sacrifice. So since I don't live at the acre, then I get a little bit of that. But if you're right there at home, you go out a little earlier in the day, and you'll see the little caterpillars on them, and you just pop them on off and just, hey, move over. Y'all can't have these. But so you see what I'm saying is, so if you have a backyard garden, one that you monitor closely, then you don't have to have all of the pesticides and stuff like that. Put a nice little net over it that protects them some, and then there's some things, neem oil and stuff like that you can spray on. But even with that, if you're not out there regularly, now all those other things, I gotta say, everybody gotta eat. They gotta eat too. But I be like, y'all serve me some greens. Save me some of them greens. So y'all play too much.
I'm definitely gonna be coming out. But I want to bring my youth out too for like
please
something. So You know, like I say, I know how it is now. Maybe January be cool. I know February. I normally just wait through February because February is when the ice comes. That's when the
when it get ugly.
Freeze. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you can catch. Sometimes January is real good. It haven't really been bad lately, but it just ain't been more sun as normally be. Because even if it's cool with the sun, that's okay. That's a good. But this rain and cold and all that, you know.
We probably won't probably won't. So the next thing that I have on deck, which I'm just too excited about, is a math class or math session. We'll see what we'll call it with one of our genius, one of, you know, another one of our Black geniuses in the community. Eric Gaither. Oh my, that joker know how to teach the math in some very unconventional ways. He's like, it could not be recorded. He don't play. He's serious. He's serious. He's serious, you know.
That's what we need.
Yeah. And so when we have that, then I definitely, you know, want you all to come. That'll probably be the first event after this winter season. See, there's a time which I'm learning. I hadn't been taught, you know, seasons and things, but just right now, just like everything slows down, there's a time we have to slow down.
Yeah.
And we have to plan and prepare.
Everything has its peaks and valleys, from businesses to the best, everything. It all comes in seasons, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and so this is the season.
You just got to learn.
Right. This is the season for planning, and so I'll be planning out what's going to happen. Like I said, I already have a few things on deck in my mind, but it's not that time because of the weather. Because it is outside. It's not in, you know, I could do something in somebody else's facility, but that's not the same.
You can wait it out. Just wait it out.
Because it's time. Yeah, I need, you know, I'm there.
Get out there and outside, getting that vitamin D. You know what I'm saying? Getting the nature, getting the wind and the sun. You know what I'm saying? Because most of our kids in the house playing video games and stuff. They need to be outside, breathing fresh air and learning about all this stuff. I'm working on a book right now called Hands in the Dirt, because I'm trying to make it more cool. Like one thing, youth, we got to make everything we trying to teach them cool. If we just trying to teach them because it's right, we lose them. It got to look cool to them. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm trying to do. But then wrapping up, because like you know how you can talk all day. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Give us some words in this on. Not that, and like I say, we will have multiple conversations. You will be back on the Wealth is Gangster podcast. You know what I'm saying? We might have to have you a special guest sometime, since you like to talk. We gonna make a Miss Rhonda Brown special. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. Well, I can talk.
Because you know, it's stuff we ain't even talked about. The financial literacy. It's a bunch of stuff. We did an hour and 17 minutes, and it's like 5 other things that I could have talked to you. But just here and rapping, just give us some words to end this out, and I promise the people, everybody that tuned in tonight, she will be back. You know what I'm saying?
Well, just in not, there's no conclusion to the work that we have to do. And what I would say is to find that happy space, that place that I would say Tony has found and that I have found, and that's that place of Black love. I had to go through finding a way to love my little Black self. I need everybody to get there. And get here quickly. Because when you love your little Black self, you'll find your assignment. Your assignment is in who you are and your acceptance of who you are and how you got here and how you came to be. Okay. And so in finding that Black love, you'll be more able to freely give that type of love that you have now given to yourself. So as we not conclude, but as we continue the journey together in love, in unity. Black love, let it lead us all the way to the promised land, because we're going there. We're building. I'm so excited of everything. Every time I see a post, I'm like, yes. I really yes.
I say I'm so thankful that we met, and we still got to pull up and meet. We met. Like I said, it seems like I've been knowing you for years, and we ain't even like, you know what I'm saying? Like but it's powerful, and I appreciate you. I appreciate your spirit, and we need that. We need We need the elder mother figure that talks about Black love. We talk about all kind of other love. We talk about everything else, but I don't hear a lot of old elderly Black women or men talk about loving yourself, loving this and loving that. You know what I'm saying? And that's that. We need that in the community because we can say it as youngsters, and some people get it. I get people walk up to me all the time, man. I appreciate what you're doing, man. Keep doing this. I'm learning from y'all. So I get it. But it's another level when we get it from the elders, because a lot of us, and that's why a lot of us rebel against them, because we don't get like, nah, we on this Black love, we on this, we on that, and they like, oh, nah, y'all need to calm down, y'all gonna get in trouble, all that submissive, passive, like we're not on that scary talk no more. If you telling me I can't love myself because something wrong with that, why don't no other group is told that? No other group is saying don't be proud of who you are and say it loud. We don't. I don't. It's a little too Black. Calm down. What? Like we can love ourselves and not hate nobody, not disrespect.
Exactly. Nobody. And if I'm not there to defend, but if I don't love I can't.
It's weird.
So we gotta journey together. We gotta lead the way. We got to get there. That's we gonna get.
We on our way. We on our way.
We already hit. We on our way. That's just it. You know what I'm saying? You just And they have to. You have to see it. I had to see people loving their Blackness.
Yeah,
as well.
Unapologetically, you know what I'm saying?
Unapologetically. It's a lot of pressure. You know, a lot of pressure to conform. But you don't. But if we have to build some things, and we have to make those safe spaces for one another.
Yeah,
and it's gonna
appreciate you, everybody in the chat. This is the most back and forward, that I had in the chat. You know what I'm saying? So everybody loving you, your spirit, just your wisdom, and like I say, just the pure, just the love that you give out. You know what I'm saying?
I love my people. I do it for my people, and then I done found Tony, and I do it for my people. Y'all don't even understand. But anyway, if y'all come hang, you come to hang out at the Acre. I hang out with Tony whenever he invites me.
You already know when I pull up. I'm bringing the crew and I'm bringing the cameras, and how I'm blasting off. You already know how I'm gonna do it.
Oh wow!
I'm coming to put my hands in the dirt too. I'm coming to put my hands in the dirt.
Oh, it's so beautiful though. We building keyhole gardens in the spring. And so it has some African teaching to go along with that. So our culture, our community, our connection. Let's keep it going.
Well,
awesomeness.
Thank you for coming on.
You're welcome. Thank you for the invite.
Hubby, I'm sorry we got a little too loud and a little too crunk. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's all love. He know what he got. You know what I'm saying? He know he got a special one. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate you, and I appreciate your spirit. You know what I'm saying? Because it motivates me. You know what I'm saying?
Awesome. That's what we need.
Listening to you and getting your vibe and your spirit motivates me that I know I'm doing right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's all it's about. So.
Yeah, you are. You have my 11,000% support. Whatever, that's what then I guess we really end. But you got people who and I have people like that, and I'm grateful that just a phone call away. I want you to know that's what I am. I'm just a phone call away. I'm gonna be offended. I'm gonna be highly upset, but I'm not gonna fall out of love with you. That's not possible. If you don't call me and you needed me, don't even have a second thought. Period. I love my people. I love you. I was put here for what I was put here for. And if it drops in your spirit, it's just about taking care of my babies. You seen I called you. I don't know who that baby was, but it's my baby.
Yes.
Well, so I can walk up on anybody on the street and tell them, hey, come here. That's
for sure.
I love you.
Yeah, for sure.
But I had that. I had that growing up.
And that's
something else that was missing.
Yeah, I know. That's what we talk about, that gap that has widened since then. We need you know what I'm saying? And that's why I want to champion that, because I feel it from you. And that's why, and like I say, well, this gangster, we have these conversations, and a lot of people we didn't get to the finance tonight, but they don't even understand this conversation we had was part of wealth and part of gangster. Like
is.
this loving on each other, this respect for each other, this understanding is part of us building wealth. It's part of us.
Exactly.
That's part of it. It's like people talk about wealth and they think it's only money. Money is a small part of it.
Come
It's the
on now.
resources. It's the relationships.
Yes.
It's a lot of things that go within wealth, not
Yes.
just money. So
It is
like,
not.
like, man, y'all talked about y'all didn't really talk about no money tonight, but what we talked about is about wealth. We talked about
how you get to the money.
Yeah, you know,
because you're not gonna get to the money the right way.
Yeah.
If you do not understand your little black self and how beautiful you are.
Yes, ma'am.
And what it means to be a community of beautiful black people, unashamedly.
Yes.
Don't let Anyway, that's what what's and I'm not begging anybody for anything. I don't want it from you.
Yeah, we got each other. When we got each other, we can do anything in this world. But we have to know that we got each other. And
there you go.
And be there. And
we build the foundation.
Yeah, that's what
building the foundation. And I love how you said that. I thought about wealth. Wealth is not about cash.
Yeah,
because people that have a lot of cash, but they don't have. They're not wealthy.
Yeah, that's why I say it's a mindset. Before you can get money in anything, wealth is gangster is a mindset. I think that's what people don't really understand. Like everything I talk about, I don't talk about it from a place that I got all the money in the world or this and that, but I feel like I'm an Elon Musk because of the way I operate and think. You know what I'm saying? Like, right? You know what I'm saying? And that people don't understand. Way before you get it, you got to already have it in you. You don't just wake up and get wealthy. Everybody that's wealthy, they had it in them way before they got it.
They had it in them. Come on now.
And it was just a buildup of everything they put together. You know what I'm saying? Everything I've been working on for years is starting to come together now. Like, dude.
Yes.
Oh, you know what I'm saying? And then
I do.
And it looks like, and I gotta tell people that's why I look at myself as being a 20-year overnight success. It's 20 years to get to a point where I look like success, and I haven't even scratched the surface.
You haven't even scratched the surface.
I haven't scratched the surface yet because I spent so many years where I was just in survival mode. I didn't even know about wealth. I was just trying to make it. I was trying to survive this. I was trying to not get killed. I was trying to not go to jail. I was trying to do this. You know what I'm saying?
I get it.
I just got to a point where I realized now I can live.
At
40 years old, now I'm getting to a point where now it's time to live and really do what I was meant to do. You know what I'm saying? And that's I want to catch kids so they don't got to go through that 20-year.
That's it.
And I'm one of the blessed ones because out of everybody that I started with in the streets, I'm the only one that's not a convicted felon that never been to a penitentiary or nothing like that.
Awesome.
And that's what I know. Not that I'm special. Because I was at houses that I left and 5 minutes later got raided. I was at spots that I was there and I left and went to the studio and then it got raided. So that let me know I'm not special. I'm just chosen to do a different path because statistically I'm supposed to be a 2-3 time felon. Really, with the life I live, I should be a 2-3 time felon. But it wasn't the vision that the ancestors of the high power had for me. They were like, "Nah, you gonna make it through this because we see." Once you make it through this, the light that you can shine. So I'm running with it. I'm running fight against it. Now it's time for me to be like, okay, I did make it through that. I did do all that. Now let me see how much good I can do. You know what I'm saying? How much empowerment, how many people I can save that's going down that same route. So like I say, we gonna conclude because you know how we go. But I thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you so much.
And I really look forward to having you on again real soon. You like to talk, and we need to hear that wisdom.
I can talk. I'm a reader. So let me tell you about I've been reading this. But I can talk.
We're going to continue that going. And like I say, real soon we'll set up a day. I don't know how the weather looking in the next couple of weeks, but I'm going to definitely get out there. In the next couple of 2-3 weeks that you're gonna be out there, we're gonna set it up, and I'm putting it on camera now, so you can hold it to me. Sometimes I like to put pressure on myself.
Well, you're always welcome.
When I did this book, I had told myself I posted one day. I have just a bunch of pages scrabbled. I said my book gonna be coming out next year. I got like over 100 people. I'm ready for it. So it made me. I put my feet to the fire and made me produce this because I probably wouldn't have did it if I didn't make that post and see the reaction that people gave me. I'd have been like, it'll still be notes. It'll still be notes. Sometimes I like to put it out there in the atmosphere just to hold my feet to it. Now I gotta stand on it now. I done put pressure on myself. I love putting pressure on myself
Okay.
Stuff. So that
you
was the way.
teaching me. You teaching me.
Hey,
you teaching me.
You put it out there that my book coming out in 2023 or 2024. Now your feet to the fire. You gonna have
to the fire. It got to be out in 2023. You teaching me.
So let's do it.
Okay.
Let's do it. Woo! But you have a great night. You tell her hello, and I'll be talking to you soon. Thanks.
All right. All right.
All right. Bye.
See you. Bye-bye.
Another great episode of Wealth is Gangster, man. Miss Rhonda Brown came through with the love, support, and I appreciate y'all. Everybody came from Van, amazingly beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Look at how you doing? Are we talking about the book? We got the editor. Well, she was on here. She's not here no more. Miss Miriam, thank you. But I'll be doing a special on this tomorrow. Good night. I'm out.